The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
That drama that's happening, So you got to stay focused. You got to find a dark place, and then sometimes going to the dark can help. You know what I mean? Just shield yourself in, because once the light turns on, man, it's over.
It's over.
And they turned that light on him too. All they got to do is get that some more werewolf one light, and it was over.
Yeah.
And they did. He did.
One thing we didn't cover last time you were here, the Islanders.
I love the Islanders.
Right? you Haku, right?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Haku, right? Haku's supposed to be probably the toughest guy
he is
in real life. First of all, what kind of person was he? And let me just tell you a quick story. When I was in the military, we went to see a wrestling match, and all the wrestlers were at a bar, and I saw Haku, and I wanted to buy him a beer, but I guess he wasn't in a mood. And I'm like, hey, thank you, whatever. And he looked at me, and I was never so scared for my life ever. But what kind of a human being is Haku? And can you, what about Haku?
Haku is one of the greatest humble person you will ever meet. He has so much respect, and he's just so polite. That's the part that people, those that know him probably see it. But there is some time where, there's so many stories with Haku, especially with me. So basically, I'm like that shit disturber when we were the Islanders, right? I like to tease wrestlers because I knew I had this monster behind me that, that no one's going to fuck with me because of Haku, So, and going to places with Haku, he already had a reputation, I guess, from Montreal, Canada, about him beating up 20 cops or whatever. See, these stories that I'm hearing from other people before we have tagged up before I tagged with Haku. And coming to the Islanders, I tell you what, that was actually when I became loose in the bit. And loose meaning it feels great to be a bad guy. It feels great. Now the whole different side of me came out that I didn't know that I had. So it's almost like, wow, I could finally be me now. There's no more sympathy. I don't want no more fucking people crying for me. I'm ready to kick some ass and spit on some people and slap people around. I need to be tough now, But back then I was already tough because I was never scared at anyone anyways going to high school. Growing up from the ghetto and hood, you got to be strong, man. You got to learn how to be strong and survive. And becoming the heel, that was one of my best moment in wrestling was the Islanders.
Because, now you're getting paid to be a troublemaker. This is awesome, right?
Okay, yeah. But the good thing about it is I had a Haku on my side, so I was one of those shit disturbers. I would say, hey man, there's this gentleman named Brutus Beefcake, right? Some of you guys
Jimmy's rolling right into that.
The crybaby.
Hold on, Jimmy. Tell.
No, I got it because I was there. Okay, go ahead.
Or tell TK first of all.
Okay, come on, Jimmy.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Fire away.
All right, Congo. Missy Beefcake is a good friend of the show.
All right.
Can you share the story of you and Haku taking exception to Brutus and basically?
Yeah.
I'll let you tell everybody what happened.
You have something, but I'm going to tell you my story that you can tell everyone your story. So we wrestled him and Greg the Hammer, the Dream Team, Johnny Valley, and I forgot where it was. We found out that because Haku doesn't hold back. When Haku's gonna hit you, let me know if I'm too close. If Haku's gonna hit you, you're gonna feel your soul. You're gonna feel not your heart, your soul.
My soul?
You're gonna feel your soul when Haku hits you.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. Haku chop you. If you're dead, he'll wake you up with that chop. Trust me. And he hits you so hard that these wrestlers, their body, they're already waxed and they got a tan. So they take. Man, we were tearing these guys up. Well, really, Haku was really laying them in. That's another thing that made us who we are because we try to make it look, you know what I mean? 'Cause, you got to have that little fire into it. But anyway. We started fighting tag with Beefcake. And we come to find out after the wrestling match that he went and complained in the back that the Islanders were hitting his chest too hard. So underneath the nipple, so his nipples, right? You ever seen it? You see how their body, they really take care of their body, but their work is the shits. So, so we didn't have a body, but we would kick ass. That's what they have showed me and Haku. So that's where the word came, and then we found out he was complaining, and I guess it went from him to Hogan, Hogan to Vince or something, and then Haku found out the baby's restroom, the heel. Haku, we found out, or I forgot who said something, and he said, yeah, Beefcake's complaining he didn't want to work with the Islanders anymore because we were stiff. It was hurting him. I said, well, then he shouldn't be in the goddamn wrestling business if you can't take a chop, right? Now, he's new to the game. He's been, I don't know, maybe 6 months, and then this is where Haku goes to the other side of the dressing room and then grabs him by the neck. Yeah, by the neck, I think he had him up like a midget with one hand, and then everyone it got really hectic in the back dressing room with the baby face where Haku was at. I think it was Pat Patterson. Someone said let him go. He didn't let him. He had him like this. He was off the ground, and then who else? Cheap Day Strongbow. I don't think anyone. Haku didn't listen to anyone, and then Vince came. Whatever. I think then Hogan came in, that's his brother, or his best friend, or whatever you want. Well, I don't know their relationship. Some people say they're brothers. No, yeah, but I heard they're really brothers. Then they're cousins. Then they were friends, or they're from out in Miami or Florida. Right. They're just the bar buddy. I don't know, or whatever, But that was the story. That's my story, man. That's what I heard.
So wait, when they came in, Haku just let them
No,
down?
I think it was Patterson tried, Jeep Chase tried. These are all the agents that came tried, but Vince tried, or I think Vince was there that came in.
Where was Greg? Greg Valentine didn't jump in?
I don't. No, I don't. I don't think Greg didn't want to be nowhere near Haku. That's for damn sure. Shit. Greg.
Donga, how does Hogan get him to let go?
Well, I heard that when Hogan came in is when he said, brother, just sort of tell him, whatever, and then I guess Haku just sort of dropped him like, if you have something to say, complain, you come tell us. But I think he's sort of upset because he went behind our back,
right?
Like some,
right?
Come on, man,
right?
Yeah, I mean, we really wanted to fuck you up. We would have, you
we would have.
Yeah, we would have. Haku just gave you a little. Yeah, we would have. He just gave you a little chop,
Right.
But because they were so much into the bodybuilding, the tanning, the waxing, so they know wrestling's entertainment. Hey, brother, easy. They said you're too stiff. I said, hey, that's just the way we work. We like to work that way. Some wrestlers don't like some wrestlers don't work stiff, and some do. Well, we like it rough.
Right.
I mean,
And
though, Jimmy, I was thinking to myself, like, when the boys get into it and someone gets their ass kicked, like like Adonis got beat up by Spivey or whatever else. But I was thinking, like, anybody gets beat up by Haku, it doesn't matter. Like, no one's going to make fun of that. It's like, okay, it's all good.
No, you're good. You're good to go.
We're good to go.
We're fine. It's okay.
Yeah, that's why me being a young kid, I loved it when I found out he's the toughest man in the wrestling business, and he'd take people's eyes and nose. I was happy. I could do anything I want, get away with it.
There you go. Wow. And if I can